Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. For those who are new here, welcome. My name is Giselle, and in this channel we talk all things about faith, encouragement, women, fertility, anything that has to do with us. I want to talk about it and I want to chat with you ladies about it. So if any of those things interest you, feel free to hit the subscribe button down below, hit the notification bell for upcoming videos, and join my YouTube fam. So let's get into today's video. So as you can see by the title, I did my second round of IVF, and y'all, all I can say, it was completely different than my first round of stems by far. So if you have not seen my full story or you're not up to date with what I am currently going through with IVF, I will link some of the previous videos down in the description below. That way you can get caught up and kind of be aware of what's going on. But in today's video, I'm going to be talking about my second round of IVF stems, which resulted into my second egg retrieval as well. So as you all saw, my first egg retrieval IVF round was a fail. I got 15 eggs from that first retrieval, 12 were mature, 4 out of the 12 fertilized, and out of the 4 that fertilized, only 1 embryo came from that, and it was a 4 BC. So if you're into embryo grading like I am, I kind of think it fascinates me. This whole IVF journey is fascinating, and so if that's an interest to you, my first round was a 4 BC, which is more considered a poor quality embryo. We did get PGT-A testing on that embryo, and it did come back abnormal. We have a guest, I guess. This is Mateo. I guess he decides to join us today. But my round 2 of IVF, y'all, I took it as that. I took it as, this is my round 2. I got this. I did not stress whatsoever. After talking to my doctor, after this failed cycle, I was like, we knew it was a 50-50 chance. We didn't know what the outcome might be. We didn't know what could come out of it. I could be back in the same position again. And so in this process, I truly left it in God's hands. I was like, God, I have no control over this. I have no control over what my body's gonna do. I have no control over what will happen after, we have these eggs, what will fertilize, what will not, what will become an embryo, what is not. All I can do from my part is make sure that I'm healthy, that I'm not stressing out over things, that I'm just taking it easy. I'm listening to my body during this time of injections. And I took it like that, and I was just like, whatever is meant to be will be. And if this round fails, then we just unfortunately would have to try again. But I went in with that mentality of whatever happens, happens. And I did not have any stress at all in those 2 weeks that I did injections. So I started my injections on April 10th, and I had my egg retrieval April 31st. This round I did have different medications. So Follistim was my first time. The second time I used Gonal, which is the same thing as Follistim. I also used Menopur, and I was still on the low doses of these 2 medications. And then I used Gonorelix, of course. Gonorelix kind of holds your body from ovulating. But the only thing that we did different this time around was my trigger shot. So my first round was Lupron and Pregnal as my trigger shots. This time around, we only did Pregnal, and we did a higher dose of Pregnal versus a lower dose of how we did the first time. So here I will insert a clip of my day 1 through 8 of stems. So as you can see from the videos, I kind of became a pro at it. The first day I think I was like, wait, what was this and what was that? But I finally got the hang of it really quickly, and manicure didn't hurt as bad as the first time. I think I already had the expectation of, I knew how it was gonna hurt, I knew how I was gonna feel, and I just kind of went with it. And so even though I would put, you know, my cold patch on there just so it can help get that area a little bit numb so I wouldn't feel it. But I did pretty well. I must say I did not struggle as much as the first round. Another thing I did different in this IVF cycle was meditation. We had amazing weather during my time of injection, so every afternoon I literally sat outside. I did some yoga. I did certain stretches that were healthy and safe for my during this process, because your ovaries are getting bigger with the follicles, and you want to be very careful that you don't do anything strenuous or anything that's going to impact the body in a certain way. So I was keeping it very light, doing a lot of just kind of deep stretches and moving my body, get that blood flowing, you know, kind of thing, and just staying calm. And in the middle of me meditating, I would just pray to God and enjoy the breeze, enjoy the noises of the birds and everything that's, you know, nature. And that honestly, truly helped me. You know, I kept my mind quiet and not thinking so much, and it was just relaxing. And I truly enjoyed doing that. In the process as well, my husband and I ended up going with some family friends to Orlando, and we spent, you know, a night out there, and it was just a good time just to get out of the house, get out of our routine, right? Because when you're going through injections, it takes so much out of your personal life, out of you, and you want to be able to still live your life, enjoy your life as if nothing's going on, because the more you think about everything that's going on internally with the injections, it's overwhelming. So I found myself giving, as you can see in one of the videos, I was giving myself an injection in the truck while my husband was driving. Second night, actually, we were at dinner eating, and I had to leave the restaurant to go do my injections in the truck as well. So it, you know, even though I had to take time out for that, the fact that I was still living my life felt more normal to me. And again, I didn't stress it. I was like, it is what it is. I'm gonna keep doing what I'm gonna be doing. Of course, being careful and all of that. So I did have a lower number this time around of follicles, which made it so much easier for me, because my first round of IVF, I had about 34, 35 follicles. I don't remember the number. I had 30 something follicles. And not every follicle has an egg in it, but if it was to have an egg in it, your ovaries can hyperstimulate, and that creates OHSS, which that's what I had the first time, just a mild case of it, nothing severe. So this time my estrogen levels were a lot lower. I'm talking about like a lot lower. I did not have this abundance of follicles being made. So I went in to egg retrieval. I was fine. I was not nervous. I did get a little nervous right when they were about to start, but I was fine. I felt good. And again, it was like, it was all in God's hands. I truly and like honestly surrendered this round to God. Like, I don't have anything to do with this. I have no control. I have no power whatsoever. And, you know, from the first time being so angry and being so frustrated and, you know, fighting with God, to then surrendering and like, okay, Jesus, I get it, you know, and then now being in this second round, I felt the peace of God so much in my heart and my soul, around my life. My husband and I just kept calm the whole time, and it was, I can honestly say, a beautiful experience. I'm not gonna cry. It was just so good to just be in a place, in a mental place where I can just be calm. So it was really good. And so after egg retrieval, they told me that they retrieved 12 eggs. So first round they had retrieved 15 eggs. This time they retrieved 12. So I was still in the same ballpark, you know, I'm still in the same number range. So that was good. They called me the next day and the embryologist told me that out of the 12 eggs, 12 were mature. So that was awesome news. So, and out of the 12, 6 fertilized normally. So it was good news. I was hoping for a larger number to fertilize, but I was like, you know what? We have 2 more embryos than last time that fertilized. So this is good. And we're gonna stick to what we have and be grateful for what we have. And of course, here's the long waiting part, right? Of waiting to see what becomes a blastocyst. Initially, you have to wait 5 to 6 days to get another embryo report. And so we got the call, I think it was like a Tuesday. They called me and I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I was like so nervous. And she was like, well, she goes back to the same numbers. Out of the 12, 6, you know, fertilized normally. And out of the 6 that fertilized normally, you have 2 embryos. And I was like, okay. Again, I was hoping for more, but again, we were 1 more than last time. So I was like, okay, so this is good. I was like, so by any chance, do you have the gradings of these embryos? Mind you, my last embryo was a 4BC, which is a poor quality. You can still have a healthy baby with a 4BC. I'm not saying that you can't. Mine personally, was an abnormal embryo, so unfortunately, of course, I couldn't transfer that embryo. But this round, I was like, do you have the gradings? Because at least it gives me kind of some hope. And she's like, your embryos are beautiful. And I was just like, instantly I wanted to cry, but I'm like, at the same time I had to contain myself because I was getting my hair done. And so she's like, you have one that's a 4AA, which is like a perfect looking, beautiful embryo. And then the other one is a 4BB, which is also like the next best good thing to have. And so I was like, oh my God, all I heard was 4 something, 4A something, and that's all I heard. And I was just so happy that we had 2 little M babies and they looked beautiful according to what they can see physically with their eyes. So now we had to send them off to testing. And usually it takes about 2 to 3 weeks for PGTA testing. And so a week went by and I was so anxious, but my nurse called me on Friday, Cinco de Mayo, and she's like, so you have 1 normal embryo. And I was so excited. I was so sad for the other embryo, of course, because we grown to, when you're in this journey, it's so weird and it's so bizarre to me how you instantly fall in love with these M babies because they're a part of you and your husband, right? And it's just so amazing what God has been able to put in someone's brain to do to help us women and, you know, couples out to be able to have a family. And when she said that, I instantly started crying. I told him, like, I don't even have words to say to you. And she's like, your 4AA, which is your most perfect embryo, came back genetically normal. And she's like, unfortunately, the other one, even though it is a great grading for an embryo, had the exact same things going on as the first embryo, which was what my first 4BC embryo had. So they had similar genetically abnormal things going on. So it was sad to lose an M baby. We've lost 2 M babies already, so it was very sad for us, but we were also so happy and so grateful that God gave us 1 beautiful embryo. And yeah, so we're so excited that this round went so much better than the first round. We're still not out of the woods. We still have to make sure that my body takes in this embryo, that transfer goes well, and that we can bring home a baby. And we can bring home something that's, you know, a part of us together, you know, that we've created with so much love, so much faith, just a little bit of science. And so that's where I stand right now. I do have a transfer date. I am not gonna say it though, but we're just so excited that we are here. We are living in the moment. You know, we know that we're not out of the woods yet until transfer, and so we're not trying to stress, and we're just trying to take it one day at a time and love our end baby until that baby is actually here. We know that a lot of things can go wrong, and we know that, let's just put it this way, we know that at the end of the day, God is in control and God has us in his hands, and it will be God's will, you know, whatever it is. And so we are just excited. They do know the gender of the embryo, and I was like, I don't want to know. My husband's like, I want to know. I'm like, well, I don't. So we were like in that kind of battle, and I'm like, no, once we transfer and I have a positive pregnancy test and I have heard a heartbeat, then I want to know the gender, but right now I don't. So I don't want to get all like too hyped up for it. And even though I'm excited, even though I'm happy and I'm thankful to God for getting us up to here, you know, it's still a little nerve-wracking to go through this journey. And if you are currently going through this journey as well, whether it's your first round, your second round, your third round, I pray for you. I pray that God gives you peace, that God gives you understanding, that no matter what it is that you're going through, that your faith and your foundation remains in Christ. Because let me tell you, it's not easy going through this journey. You start to doubt, you start to question, you start to like lose your faith in some points, you know, in some aspects, but you cannot. It's so hard, right? It's easier said than done, but I've been there to where I wanted to just go off on God, and you know, I was frustrated and mad and all the things, but I know that his will be done. I know the word that he has, you know, given us, and I hold on to that. This little one is snoring in the background, if you can hear it. And so yeah, so that's just our most recent updates, and I will keep you updated once I am entering the transfer stage. I will be vlogging the whole thing, good or bad. And so I don't know when I'll post it, but just know that it's coming. Right now, it's nowhere near this time frame right now. We still have a while to go to, just because I have some testing I personally need to have done before transfer. So we're gonna get all the things done and make sure that my uterus is a nice cozy home for this baby, and that we can bring him home 9 months later. I keep saying him. I don't know if it's a boy or girl, but I keep saying him and he, and my husband's like, you really think it's a boy, don't you? I'm like, I don't know, but who knows? But anyways, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that this gives you some kind of hope that if it failed the first time, it can definitely work the second time. Just, I don't want to say relax. I don't want to say all that stuff, because we hear that all the time in this community. Relax, it will happen when when you relax, or this and that. But I'm gonna be honest, I truly took the time to just sit and be calm and look for God and pray to God and meditate and do the things that I thought were gonna be good for my health, my mental health first, my spiritual health, my physical and emotional health. And I tried to take it as easy as I could. I listened to my body when I needed to listen to my body, and I went from there. So if you have any questions, or what was your, little routine that you did in order to have a successful round of egg retrieval and all that stuff, let us know in the comments below. This will also help other women who come by this video. And yeah, so again, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. It helps reach out other women who are currently going through their IVF journey as well, and are looking for a word of encouragement, a word of hope, and to see that it is possible. And just hold on a little bit longer, and God will come through. Truly, truly. I still have a ways to go, and I hope that you ladies help me pray for my miracle baby as well. And I will be praying for y'all. And so yeah, so I hope that you guys have a great day, morning, evening, afternoon, whenever you're watching this. And so yeah, and so I hope that you all stay safe and blessed, and see you in the next one. Bye.